Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your friend Han here, and it is absolutely great to see you this afternoon. And today, I'm very excited to have Josh back with us again, and to talk about the importance of SEO. What is working right now? What is not working? What should you do to make sure your site keep ranking very high on the Google search engine and among other search engines? Well, if you're ranking Google, you're ranking everywhere else automatically. So. And then at the end of the same interview, he's going to introduce a cool software that's really going to cut down the time you have to generate content, especially if you have more than one website, okay, WordPress websites. And you guys gonna see once he demo this, so be very exciting about that as well. But before we get into all this excitement here, let's kind of learn how Josh got started with internet marketing, but most importantly, what he do exactly to achieve the level of success that he has today. So Joshua, could you kind of take over the mic, share your unique internet marketing story with us today?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's great to be here as always. I got started. I don't have that glamorous rags to riches story where I was living out of my car, homeless, and just automatically became a millionaire overnight. I do not have that glamorous story. I started back in 2010. I was pretty much sitting at home watching an infomercial, and during that infomercial, Mark Victor Hansen was interviewing a young kid who was 25 years old at the time. And Mark Victor Hansen is the guy who wrote all the Chicken Soup for the Soul books, so the guy's a multi-millionaire.
Right.
And he was interviewing this young kid who was 25 years old, and the young kid was going on about how much money he was making promoting household name products like Netflix, a bunch of products, how he was promoting best products from Best Buy, and how he's making a commission online by promoting this stuff. And at first, I couldn't really wrap my head around it because, it was like, why and how would Netflix and Best Buy be paying this guy to, sell their stuff? But, by the end of the infomercial, they were offering a free book. I called, I got the free book, and I didn't even open. I think I read maybe 1 or 2 pages of it, and then I stuck it underneath my bed and didn't even touch it anymore after that. But what happened there was that the infomercial planted the seed in my head that making money online was possible. So that was at the beginning of 2010, and by the end of 2010, right around October, I spent those eight to 10 months just doing a bunch of research, buying a bunch of products, going from one thing to the next, but never really strapping down and focusing on one thing until October of that year, where I told myself, okay, I have to find one thing and one thing only and focus on that 100%. And around October of 2010, I purchased a course for about $2,000, and that's what really set me on the right track to where I am today, because I focused 100% on that course for the remainder of that year. And what I did was I just basically went through that course 100%. I didn't purchase any other courses. I was just going through that one course. And the good thing about that was because before all of this, I didn't know anything about internet marketing. Before I saw that infomercial, I didn't even know that all of this stuff existed. I didn't know what WordPress was, what the domain was, what hosting was, none of that stuff. I didn't know anything. So this course really took me through from A to Z on what I needed to do. It explained everything. It explained WordPress, all of the new beginner stuff. And that's what really helped me out with that course. So I spent the back half of that year just going through the course, and then I told myself that at the beginning of the following year, which was 2011, I was going to take just full-on massive action with what I had learned. That's exactly what I did. And by April of that year, let me back up a little bit. That course was all about list building and affiliate marketing. So by April of that year, I had built a list of just under 1,000 people, and I hadn't tried making any money from the list. I was just building the list and building a relationship with the list. And by April of that year, I made my first $120 from my first promotional email because, now that I had built a list, I wanted to see if this stuff actually worked. So I made about $120 with my first promotional email, and I was absolutely
blown away. Isn't it?
It changed my life. It changed my life from that very moment. Changed my entire life. Because it proved to me, all right, man, this stuff works, But even throughout that time, I was still pretty new to internet marketing, so I was still kind of, searching, so to say, for different stuff. And by that point, there was a section in that course about SEO. And that was kind of intriguing to me because I was like, okay, I can put up a website, rank it, and then it just makes money every month. And I was like, okay, I can do this. So I put up my first website, and within 30 days, I made my first sale with that website. So then I was like, wow, this stuff works. First I figured out that the affiliate marketing and email marketing stuff works. So I was like, wow, now SEO works. Let me ramp up this SEO stuff. So I started building a ton of sites. And by the end of the year, I had, I would say, about between 10 and 12 sites put up. And I had gotten my income up to about $1,000 and $1,200 a month. So I was like, okay, this is pretty good. This money's coming in every month. All I got to do is just keep putting up more sites. So what I told myself is that starting in 2012, I wanted to put up an additional 20 websites. So I started off good, boom, boom, the beginning of the year. I ramped up a few more sites. But the only downside to it is that in April of that year, Google made the big change, which was the Penguin update. It pretty much crashed my entire system that I had going. And I had to basically start over. So
that changed your life too, right?
Yeah, that changed my life too. It was like a big roller coaster, and my income just went straight in, like if a plane is going downhill, and it was from one day to the next. But the crazy part about that is in May of that year, which so about a week or so after the update, a big marketer that I followed and learned a lot from about SEO. Released a course about video marketing and how he was quickly ranking videos at the top of Google. So I was like, okay, if I can rank sites, I'm pretty sure I can rank a video. And what I found out was amazing that, videos rank a lot faster than websites and takes a lot less work. So what I did was I put up a video, and within 48 hours of that, I ranked it, and I had, made a profit within 48 hours. And then that one video went on to make about $800 in the next 30 to 60 days. So that hooked me onto video, and I guess you can say the rest is history, because to this day I still do SEO, video, and I still have my email stuff going. So that's kind of like in short where I've been, what I've done. I don't have any sexy rags to riches story.
Well, you kind of have a very, very motivational story. The reality of internet marketing, it's not always, up, and you also have it down too. And how do you deal with it? It's different from people to people. So it's the ones that stick around, kind of overcome the obstacles that actually achieve the success at the very, very end. So and I think you still have a long way to go, but you already achieve amazing things. What I meant to say is you can achieve even greater things. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
and to knowing what you know right now, maybe think back the days you still kind of trying different things out. To knowing what you being video marketer, you being product creator, you being email list builder, just to knowing what you know right now, what would be the top 3 advice you could give it to people who listen to this, to kind of, at least direct them to the right direction to make sure they have, about the same level of success you have today?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I want to say is try to go through the shiny object syndrome as quickly as possible, because it's kind of like you can't really avoid it. Because everyone you talk to has gone through it, so it's kind of like you have. I mean,
if you don't go through that process, how would you know which one you want to focus on? I mean, a lot of people kind of playing on it, but you really have to. Okay, this is like you walk into an ice cream shop, right? So you got chocolate flavor, you got vanilla flavor, you got all kinds of other different color spectrum, you name it, they have it, they make it, and then they even make the cone one, they make the cup one. So how would you know which one is your favorite without even taste what it is? So the shiny object syndrome is to me, it's like you just kind of figure out what you want. Take that as a learning experience, and once you find out what you really, really enjoy to do, get rid of other ice cream, only focus on the ice cream you absolutely love. That's the way I think about it.
Absolutely, great analogy there, and once, and it's those people that are willing to go through that process that come out successful at the end, because some people start that process and then they stay stuck there and they quit. So for those of you that are going through that, you just gotta keep pushing forward, and when you come out on the other side, you'll realize just how much you actually learned by going through that process. So that's the first thing. Try to go through that as quickly as possible. The second thing I would say is always be taking action. Sometimes some people convince themselves that if they're watching tutorial videos, or if they're watching a new training course, or if they're doing other stuff, they convince themselves that they're taking action. They're moving towards success. But there is a place for continuing to learn. But the majority of your time should be spent taking action on what you're learning. Or on the flip side, just take action in general. So a lot of times, I'll buy a course and I'll watch the first 1 or 2 videos and then just go out there and start taking action, and then and obviously I'll learn something by taking action, and then I'll come back and I'll see that there's a video about that had I watched the video, I wouldn't have made that mistake. But either way, I'm always moving towards taking action.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, so what we're going to say is you got to identify. I mean, you only got about, 24 hours a day, and you got to kind of identify what is money-produced activity, what is the, not the activity, the B activity, which is the ones that not going to produce immediate income, but it's still kind of important. And well, this comes to the topic of outsourcing now, and then you got the C activity, which is something you have to do to get your business running, but it doesn't necessarily help you grow the business. So that's where the outsourcing, that's where the software tools really going to cut down the time, which is one of them we're going to introduce today. So I mean, the most important value asset in your business, in your life, and that is time. Okay, it's not the money. Money will come if you follow the right footsteps, and you're gonna realize this when you get to certain levels. It's a time, because you can always make more money, but you can never make more time. So the step one is kind of identify what do you do every day. Are you just surfing the net on Facebook, chatting with people, or are you actually doing money-produced activities such as building sites, such as making videos, actually checking out what offer to promote, or helping your offline clients, for examples. Those are money-producing activities. So you got to really get a piece of paper like me, write down what you want in life, and what you're doing in every single day task, and list A task to B task to C task, and outsource anything that's B and C and D and E. Just outsource it all, and the faster way you do that, the faster you're gonna grow.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. And I would say the last thing, part 3 thing, would be just not giving up. Being relentless, and no matter what is thrown at you, just continue pushing forward. I mean, you're gonna have days where you feel like there's a mountain on top of you. Your server crashes, or you have a big malware attack, and these kind of things that really weigh heavy on you. Or somehow you lose some money, you get scammed by somebody. These kind of things are going to happen, and the way you react to it is what's going to really make the change for you. Whether you decide to give up and throw in the white towel, or you decide to learn from that experience and keep going. And I think that's probably the most important one, is to just not give up. I don't know how many times and how many different things I failed at. But the fact that I'm relentless, and I just keep moving forward and learn from all of these experiences is what's going to help people, help them keep going and actually reach the success.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at athletes, like you look at Fortune 500 company, who the founder of the company, do you think they just kind of born to be there? And if you really study those successful people, they all have this. They all start with a humble beginning. I mean, nobody ever have things handed on them. These are the ones that kind of overcome the problem. As long as you live in life, it's always going to exist. Okay, I mean, it's just part of your life. You gotta be a problem solver. If you design yourself and change your mindset to become a problem solver, then the problem is actually is a good thing, and it's going to be very profitable for you as well. And what he's going to introduce here, the software solve huge problems, right? Mm-hmm. So you can't be afraid of problem. You can't afraid of roadblocks, and they're gonna be benefit you in the long run. It's also gonna, if you can think that to benefit other people, many other people, it's gonna become actually a very profitable business venture for you in the future as well. So think of those as a blessing. I have not met anyone in my lifetime that never have a single problem in just for one day or for 1 millisecond. The problem at different levels, you're gonna have a different level of problem. You know, when you go from when you're beginning, you're not making money, you got that problem. Then once you make a little money, like $100, $200 a day, you got another set of problem. Now you make 6, 7 figures. Trust me, you got even more problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never gonna go away. Never gonna go away. I promise you. It's the one that figured out how to solve the problem, have the confidence, solve that problem, get more success as the time goes by. So yeah, so that's my
one cool thing that I saw on Facebook the other day that I didn't know, it was a meme picture, and it was about the guy who created PayPal. And he said, my first business failed horribly, my second one failed a little less, my third one failed a little less, my fourth one failed, and my fifth one was PayPal. So the guy failed at 4 different businesses, and the fifth one that he kept pushing was freaking PayPal, which processes billions of dollars a day.
Are you talking about that guy built the cars?
No, the founder of PayPal.
Well, there's kind of several founders by this point.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, well, I guess it's the first guy who started it. It was a picture of.
He's like a billionaire by now. So.
Yeah, it was a picture of a guy, and then next to him was, my first business failed horribly. My second one failed a little less. My third one failed a little less.
Yeah, that's really what reality is. I mean, guys, there's no push button software. There's nobody gonna hold your hand, kind of teach you exact step by step. They're gonna show you exactly how they did it. But you gotta be smart. You gotta, Bruce Lee said, take what is useful to you, get rid of what's not, and come up with your own new stuff. There's no such plan out there. Take you step by step. I mean, you can get very close to it, and you can just, from A to B. You still gotta tweak as you go, because everybody's situation is different. Your financial situation is different. Your marriage status is different. Your whole life is different. So you can't just be a robot learning like program A to B to C to D. You still got to take those courses. Okay, this is what I have right now. This is the knowledge I already have. This is the money I have. This is the time I can put aside. Well, let's kind of tweak this plan to fit into my own plan. And it's those people that are smart enough to do that to be very successful at it. It's the people that's still waiting for that perfect plan to taking action that never takes action. Well, you might as well just quit right now. You wasted time.
Absolutely. I 100% agree.
It's the perfect plan would never ever show up if you wait for that moment. Yep. All right, so let's talk about the SEO. What's happening with the SEO? What still works? What stopped working?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we think that there's one very important switch in mentality that has to happen for people to kind of understand. Google is a business, all right, and their product is a search engine. That it's a free search engine that allows people to get information as quickly as possible and as fast as possible to any answers that they want or any solutions or any of that. So if we start to think like Google and as if we were partnered with Google, you kind of realize that if you just provide Google with what they want to give to their customers. SEO is not that complicated. If you work with them and you provide them with high quality content that's helpful for its users, then they'll start to reward you for these kind of things. So the moment that you stop thinking of how you can gain Google and instead think of how you can work with them, that's when things start to change for you. A couple of years ago, it was very easy to gain Google and put up all these auto blogs and put up a bunch of content, and as long as you had your keywords in there a certain amount of times, you would rank regardless if the content was relevant or not. Also, if you just send a ton of backlinks with your anchor text keyword on it, you would rank as well. With just a fairly decent website with a ton of backlinks, you would rank pretty quickly, and sometimes within just a few weeks, sometimes even just a few days. But obviously Google is too smart for that, and for them to be able to keep growing, they have to keep being the #1 search engine, and by doing that, they have to provide people with the best search results, because the second that people start not getting what they're looking for, they'll start going to other search engines. That's when they started releasing a bunch of updates to make their search results a lot better, a lot fresher, a lot more relevant, and removing all of those people and all of those sites that were just putting up websites for the purpose of monetizing them. So things have changed dramatically. The more that you provide a great user experience with great content that helps people, the better off you're going to be now, and the better off you're going to be in the long term, because the last thing you want to do is put in a lot of work, and then kind of in the back of your mind, you know that you're doing something you're not supposed to, and then of course eventually you're going to pay for it, because Google is way too smart to be outsmarted. You might outsmart them for a little bit, but after a while they're going to catch up to it.
Right. I just want to add a little bit things to that, is that it doesn't matter if it's SEO, it doesn't matter if it's video marketing, it doesn't matter if it's Facebook marketing or what kind of marketing. The first thing you need to focus on is not yourself, the benefit of yourself. The first thing you need to focus on is the value you can deliver to the marketplace, to the people who are going to watch your videos, who's going to read your blogs, to Google, to what value are you going to deliver to Google first. You need to think about from that angle. And Google is it's a marketing company, it's not a search engine company. Their whole thing is to deliver the fastest, accurate results whenever you search, right? So so if you think from that angle, put the money aside and just focus on delivering kick-ass content. You're gonna get the views, you're gonna get the traffic. It's just organic. It just come by itself. So instead of focus to how to cheat Google, how to make crap videos, for examples, and still get the traffic. Focus on making quality content, write awesome articles, writing the things that people want to talk about, right? Writing the pillar content, writing the most often asked the question. Do the research behalf of the audience that you want to go to. Save there a lot of time to go to the same search, right? And if you deliver those kind of content, your website gonna automatically ranking. You don't really need to do much as far as SEO goes. I mean, you do need to do the basic, on-site SEO. Even that you can't overdo it too much, and just do it right from that angle. Spend the most of your time focus on develop kick-ass content that people love to watch, people love to read, people love to share to other people. Just think about if you were the buyer of certain things, what would you like to know? And write about it. And if you spend the most of your time on that, the rest of the world kind of just solve itself. You just need that initial momentum to get things going. The rest, you just lay back and watch the Google reward to you from that point on.
Yeah, absolutely, and I agree 100%. And then also, I mean, once you have that content written, then it becomes, it also becomes easier to optimize it, because a lot of people think, optimize and then do the other stuff. But if you write the great content first, then you can start optimizing it after.
All right, so we kind of talk about the content here a little bit. So let's talk about we kind of already on this topic. Let's talk about the importance of content. How often should you update a blog? What's a good general rule of thumb? How do you know? How do you come up with I think a lot of people are still struggling with this. Is how do you know what to write? I mean, how do you know that's something that's people gonna share virally, share with the Google, and come back, and most importantly, come back to your website as well, right? And to looking for new content again, and just talking about because you know what, at the end of the day, nowadays it's all about content. What kind of content can really create on that niche you're going after. So let's discuss about what makes a content great. How do you get the people to come back to look at your new content again? Also, let's talk about what makes a bad content as well, and how often should you really update your blog so that Google can continue to love you and give you that organic traffic?
Yeah, absolutely. The first thing is to get good ideas of what to talk about and what to write about. There's a few ways that you can really just have an unlimited amount of content to write about. Number one is simply use Google for your favorite. Go out there and Google search your different keywords, Google search your different niches, and that'll just start. You'll start seeing a bunch of different articles for your niche that are written, and you can just read the titles and get ideas like that. Another way is, once you do that Google search, all the way at the bottom, you'll see that Google provides you with other search terms, that related search terms that people who search for that also searched for. So just by looking at that list, you can get a bunch of ideas of different other ideas that people are searching for. And if you click through any of those keywords that show up at the bottom, you get a whole other level of search results. And then at the bottom of those search results, you'll see another group of keywords that are related to that one. So just by doing that and spending some time actually doing some good research, you can find an unlimited amount of ideas. Another thing is to visit forums in your niche and see what people are asking. I couldn't express the amount of information that you can find on a forum about people that are struggling or the problems they're having in your niche. And also, not only that, not only will you see the questions and the problems people are facing, but a lot of times there'll be experts in that niche that provide the answers. So you can just summarize those different threads and just make a blog post out of it, and you can do that over and over again for all the different questions and problems that are posted on that forum. And just by visiting a handful of forums every week, you can have content for a month by just summarizing the different stuff that people are posting on there. And like I said, it also helps the fact that there's other people like experts in that niche that are answering and replying to these people. So the answers to those problems are there for you as well. So those are a couple ways that you can find. And then another way is just to subscribe to other blogs that are in your niche and just keep an eye on what they're talking about. And you can either write your own interpretation, or you can kind of link to them and say, okay, this is my opinion on what they wrote. And a lot of times you'll be surprised that when you link to them and they get that ping back, a lot of times they may even contact you and be like, and then you might build a relationship. I know that happened to me once, where I wrote a blog and I mentioned several different people, and then not only did they get the notification that I linked to them, but once you do that, you can approach these people in your niche and tell them, hey, look, I just wrote a blog post and I mentioned your website. Would you mind taking a look at it? And then a lot of times they may share it with their community if it's a good blog post and things like that. So that's another great, not only to generate different ideas, but you can start building relationships with people in your niche. Now, when it comes to writing bad content, I think the last thing that, number one, is the most important thing for me when it comes to having bad content is something that isn't engaging or something that doesn't catch someone's attention. And one of the worst ways to do that
Bad
is
English.
bad English, horrible titles, not having videos, not having images, not having stuff that gets people excited. When someone is there, we're lazy people in general. So if you just have big blocks of text and nothing to separate it and not formatted correctly, that can harm you a lot. For me personally, I love having a lot of media, a lot of videos. If there's 1, 2, or 3 videos that are relevant to my blog post, I'll put them all in there. Images, same thing. People love to get information visually instead of just having to sit there and read it. So for me personally, I always make sure I have at least 1 video and have at least 2 to 3 images in a blog post. And for just how often should people blog, I mean, that really all depends. I don't like going more than a week without having a blog post on my blog, just because I like to develop some kind of system and some kind of consistency. So I would recommend at least once, one new article a day, but it all comes down to people's different schedules. If you have just 1 day to blog, or a couple days a month, just use that time use that time wisely and try to get all your articles done like that. I remember when I first got started, I had very limited time as well because I was working as well. So a lot of times I would block out a few hours during the weekend and write 2, 3 articles in that time, and then schedule them out to be posted over time, so that I can write a whole month's worth of content in a few hours on a Sunday evening or a Saturday morning, things like that. But I definitely recommend at least once a day, or just develop the own system that you feel comfortable with. If you think you can do 2 to 3 a week, that is great as well.
Okay. So my tip is a lot of people using blog to selling affiliate products just for sake of selling products. That's all good and handy. But another thing is that if you want to become successful internet marketers in any kind of niche, weight loss or video marketing or whatever, you really need to set up your own authority blog. And in every one of those your blog, you need to have some kind of email capture list. Okay. When you're starting out, you might be slow because you don't have the money to generating traffic, right? But over time, Google is going to give you so much authorities, and it's when you have that email list built, it's really going to help you too, because Google want to see that initial traffic when you're posting a blog. So what you're going to do is you're going to send the people that subscribe to your list, say, hey, I got a new post here, you might be interested. So you're going to get initial traffic on there, and the Google is instantly in love. It's going to automatically rank you. So the life is going to, when you're starting out, it's probably like a flat line, but there is like a breaking out point. You're going to see more. I mean, once Google figure out, it's going to be, it takes consistency. It takes a lot of hard work. I'm not going to lie to you. When you're first starting, when you don't have money, you can't hire outsourcers to do all that stuff for you. You have to do it yourself. But there is a point when it takes off, you're going to become the authority. You don't even need to build backlink at that point. You don't even need to working so hard to get the Facebook likes, because you already have a base of email list built. You can use that initial traffic. Those people will actually market your content for you. So I think at the end of the day, if you're looking at a long-term business strategy, not just short-term monthly income or one-day affiliate income, everyone should have authority block, whatever the interest that you have in, whatever the niche you want to go after. Reinvest your profit to hire outsourcer, write an article for you, or get software like this to kind of speed out the process as well a little bit later. So when you have authority block, it does those two things. First thing, it helps you build a list, a engaging audience. So think about it, and if you don't have the list, you always have the hunting for the new visitors, and they're not exactly gonna like what you have to say, right? So but you already have the people who love to come to your website. Why not capture the email address? Tell them the next cool content, right? So those are gonna be the most engaging fans you're ever gonna have. Okay, so you're not building fan base here, and you start building today. And secondly, my phone is ringing. Secondly, you need to have building your brand. So blog is obviously someone who doesn't know you from, we're on the internet. We don't meet people in real life most often. When they see how very engaged in the blog, that automatically builds your brand, right? So there's another benefit on top of that. And then after that, you're building a list you can sell other product to, a list you can have them come back to your blog, recycling traffic and over again. It's going to have an exponential effect going on there. So the hardest part is getting started, get that initial momentum. But once you hit that point, it's all you got to do is focus on come out with the content. In fact, you can hire a ghostwriter, write it for you, and have other people take care for you. So get it started today if you don't have authority block yet. So that's my advice.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's nothing more powerful than that email list, like you said. Mm-hmm. Because that is going to be your core fans, people that are following you. If someone comes to your blog and they're willing to give you their email address to continue following you, that means they like your content and they want more. And those are the people that start to become your biggest fans. And like you said, they'll be the ones who help grow your audience for you by sharing your content and getting other people to come to your site for free. So
yeah,
absolutely.
And a lot of people come here just want to make instant cash. That's great because you need the money to pay your bills. I mean, let's be honest here. You need to have that strategy, but also you need to look at your long-term strategy. What are you going to do from 6 months from now? What do you want to be a year after now? Well, that's where the authority blocks come in, okay? Life only going to get easier after all that, but don't just think short-term, because if you only think short-term, that fad, that trend might be gone. So you always want to focus on building long-term asset, business asset. Think about Apple, think about Microsoft, think about Google. What they all focus on, the next big thing, right? The long-term asset. And so just thinking like big companies, because with the power of the internet, you lever the ground field. Anybody with a very low budget can, heck, we're doing it from home, and we kind of live the dream lifestyle many people dream about. So utilize it, leveraging off it, and have a really, really defined goal. What do you want to go with this internet marketing thing? That's very, very important. And so the next thing is, I think most of us have more than one affiliate site, have more than one blog to manage, and it comes headaches because I have to log in each site to post, and I'll make sure I got to schedule the content, and talk about some of the problems you've been facing lately.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the biggest thing that I struggled with early on, because as soon as I saw my first niche site make money, my first thought was like, okay, I need to put up 100 of these things. I got into a complete expansion mode to start creating my niche site portfolio. But the biggest thing that prevented me from growing as quickly as I wanted to was, once you get to start managing 5, 10, 15, 20 different websites, you have 20 different logins to all of these sites. And then once you either write your content or your content writer gets all this content to you, you have to go out and publish all of this content on each of these sites. So you have to go log in one by one, then post that content, optimize that content, and if you have 3 or 4 articles that you're putting up, schedule it out and all of that stuff. And once you're done with that one, you have to go to the next blog and do the same thing. Post your content, optimize it, look for YouTube videos, look for images, get all of that together, and then schedule it out. A lot of people don't think about this, but if you truly sit down and look at how much time you spend doing all of these tedious tasks, it adds up. And these are things that you should be streamlining so that your business can grow faster. You shouldn't be having to log into 20 different websites to publish your content. You shouldn't be having to go to YouTube every single time, mess with the embed code, and then if you get it wrong, you have to, edit it, and if you edit it wrong, you break the whole embed code. So, it kind of gets, a little bit overwhelming when you start trying to grow your business and manage all of these different websites. And that's where our software came in, and where we really wanted to streamline this whole process. We wanted to make a central hub for people where they can manage all their websites. They can publish content to all their websites inside of one central place. They optimize it. They can get all the videos, images. They can do all of that stuff in one place. And they no longer have to go in and log into all of these different websites to do that. And that's pretty much what we've developed and what we've made for people to be able to use.
So the key point here, guys, is time. Again, you can never get back a single millisecond of your time, but you can always get more money. And the faster you can manage a blog, the faster you can make sure that you have consistency when posting content, engaging content, not just any kind of content. The faster money will roll in. I mean, it's just the rule of, almost like physics. It just happens like that. So you and your partner has come up with an awesome solution for this. Can you kind of maybe give us a very quick pick at this?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll walk you guys through the full demo video here. Let me see if I can. All right, here it is. Article. So what we've developed is called Article Factory Pro, and like I mentioned before, can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Well, hold on. Let me switch back to the other one. Let me switch back to full screen. Perfect. All right, so here's what we've developed. It's called Article Factory Pro, and this truly allows you to create, post, and optimize your content for all of your websites inside of one central dashboard. And we've made it extremely easy for anybody to use, regardless of their experience level. And the first thing you're going to notice here is that we have 53,000 articles built into the software, spread across 577 different categories. So for those of you that don't want to spend the time to write content or outsource content, we have plenty of content that you can use built into the software. And as you can see here on the left-hand side, we have multiple different categories that you can use: arts and entertainment, automotive, book reviews, business, communications, investing, insurance, kids and teens, legal, real estate, recreation and sports. So we pretty much have all the bases covered in here. For, I mean, pretty much any kind of niche that you're looking for, at least any big profitable niche that you're looking for, you'll most likely find content for that in here. We also have a few other options here, which is the spin and post. Spin and post basically allows you to either load an article from your desktop, or you can scrape content from the web by using the scraper here. And then we also have built-in spinners that you can use. Quick Spinner is our free built-in spinner that you can use. Or if you have a subscription to the Best Spinner and the Spin Rewriter, you can also use those. But let me go ahead and switch on over to the websites tab. This is one of the best parts of this, because you can pretty much add an unlimited amount of websites here. As you can see here, for right now we have 5 websites into here, but you can add an unlimited amount of websites. You just come in here, add where the WordPress is installed, you add your username, your password, the FTP information, and you're good to go. And the FTP information, it's going to come into play later on when I show you how this works, because when you add images to your post, the software will automatically upload it to your server using this FTP information so that it can easily get posted to your site. So let me go ahead and go back to the article factory. And for the purpose of this video, we'll just go ahead and use this article here. And to view the article, you just hit this magnifying glass here. And where you're going to be taken now is pretty much the article selection tool. And here on the left-hand side, you have the original. Here on the right, you have the spun format of that article. And to generate a new version of it, you just hit unspin here at the bottom. And you can hit this as many times as you want, and you're going to get a different result every time. And you'll be able to, once you find the one that you want to use, you just hit post to WordPress. And then you're going to select the site that you want to post to. So for this purpose of this video, we'll go with this one. And one thing that I forgot to mention is when you add your website to the software, it's going to automatically pull all the different categories that you have on your site. So you'll easily be able to choose the category that you want to post to. So on this category, I have in this website I have 5 different categories. So for the purpose of this, so let's just say we're going to post into the weight loss category. And here we have the posting time. You can either post, schedule out a post using this calendar here, or you can post instantly by clicking this box here. So we're going to go ahead and put that we're going to publish this instantly. The target keyword, we'll just go ahead and put weight loss, and we'll hit next. All right, and where we're going to be taken now is the optimization part of the software, and you'll see that we've made it extremely easy for you to edit and optimize your article all inside of Article Factory Pro. So you don't no longer have to log into your WordPress dashboard to optimize your content. And the best part about this as well is here on the right-hand side, we basically have a roadmap on what you need to do to optimize your site. So the first thing here says there's no keyword found in the title. So remember, the target keyword that we set was weight loss. So I'm going to go ahead and add this in here to the title. And of course, for the purpose of this demo video, I'm just copying and pasting the keyword anywhere just so you guys see how it works. But when you do it, of course, you want to take the time to make sure that you do it correctly, it looks correctly, and all of that stuff. So the next thing is there's no H1, H2, or H3 tag. We've made it extremely easy to add that as well. So I'm going to put the keyword here, and put the keyword here, and I'm going to go ahead and select this. And here in the editor, we have 3 different buttons that allow you to easily add header tags. So if I click this, it's going to make this a H1 tag. If I click this and hit H2, it's going to make this an H2 tag. Here it's also telling me there's no LSI keyword in the article. And this is another very powerful feature that we've built into the software. If you click on over here to the keywords tab, our main keyword that we set is automatically populated here. And if I click on get, it's going to populate a ton of different LSI keywords here. And another good thing is that remember when I mentioned that you can find different topics of keywords to write about, you can use this for that purpose as well. So to add LSI keywords to the article, you can just click here and it'll automatically add it. And let me go ahead and add one more. So I'll click here. And if you click this here, it'll automatically add that as well. And here at the bottom, we have even more LSI keywords that you can potentially use. It'll show you the searches per month and the cost per click that's related to these keywords. So if you wanted to use these, you can add them to the list as well. So let's go back to the SEO score now that we've taken care of the LSI keywords. There's no YouTube video found in the article, so we've made that extremely easy to do as well. We have a video tab here. All you have to do is click it. And what's going to happen is the software is going to automatically YouTube search your keyword and populate all the articles that, populate all the videos that pop up for the target keyword. And to easily add a video to your article, you just click on it, hit select this video up here, and as you can see, it says video added successfully, and it will now show up here. The next step is no image in the article. All right, now, for the purpose of this demo video, the way that adding images to the article works is, like I said, it's going to automatically upload the information to your server. So you need the FTP information for that. And I purposely put the incorrect FTP information just because I knew that I was going to be showing you the websites tab, and I didn't want my server information to be floating around the internet like that. But I'm going to add it, but it's not going to work correctly because I have the wrong FTP information for the particular website that I'm working on. So here, what's going to happen as well, the software is going to automatically image search your keyword. And you do have to be careful because, of course, whenever you're using Google, you want to make sure you're searching for the right copyright rules so that you don't get in trouble. So what I'm going to do here is change the usage rights to labeled for reuse with modification. So any of these images I can use for my blog post. Let me go ahead and select this one. And then you hit select live image. But one more thing I want to show you is that if you don't want to use Google, you can also use images from your PC by just clicking on select image from PC. But this is the one we pulled from Google. I'm going to go ahead and select live image. And when I do that, you're going to see that the software is going to try to upload it to my server, but it's not going to work because, again, I knew that I was going to show you that specific tab, so I didn't want my FTP information to be showing. So I'm going to click on it, and what's going to happen now is the software is going to try to upload it to my FTP, but it's not going to work because I have the incorrect FTP information. So I'm just going to cancel this, and this will take a few seconds to finish loading, and then we'll continue. The next step will be no interlink found in the article. So once this is done, I'll go ahead and continue with that. Should be only a few more seconds. All right, let me go ahead and continue, and then once this is done, I'll come back to that. So the next thing is silo is disabled. To enable the silo, you just come here and select this box here. The interlink, all right, that just finished there, perfect. So now we can continue. So it says no interlink found in the article. So if we want to interlink something, we'll just select any text on here, and then here we have two options: a hyperlink and interlink. What happens when we click on interlink is it's going to go to the site that we are editing this article for, and we can choose which article we want to interlink to. So you just click through to the article that you want to link to, and then you click on this button here at the top, link to this page, and it's going to automatically turn this into an interlink. The next step is no high PR external link found in the article. So let me go ahead and highlight this text. Hyperlink, and for the purpose of this video, I'll just link to the king of interlinking, which is Wikipedia. All right, The silo disabled, here we have an option where if you tick this on, what's going to happen when it posts it, it's going to automatically silo that article, and once we publish it, I'll show you how it works. And it says here no bold and italic and underlined text. So what I'll do now is select the keyword here, and I'll just quickly add this here and bold it. And then I'll come, let's say, here at the bottom and add it again and italicize it. And of course, when you're doing this, you're going to take the time to do it correctly. Here, I'm just doing this quickly like this, just for the purpose of this video. And let me go ahead and underline it here at the bottom. Right? And as you can see, we've made this editor extremely easy for anyone with any skill level to use. So now that we've pretty much optimized our content, I'm going to go ahead and hit check score, and you'll see how all of these will be turned green, and then we will be good to go to publish. So as you can see, green, 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 and we are good to go. So now what I'm going to do is just hit publish, and what's going to happen next is very, very exciting, because basically Article Factory is going to take everything that we've just done here and automatically publish it on your site without you having to do a single thing. It's going to automatically log into your WordPress site. It's going to automatically publish it, and you'll see just how this works right now when I hit publish. So a new window is going to open up right now and pretty much do everything for you. And this is automation at its best, because right now I'm not touching a single thing. The software is going out and it's doing all of this automatically. You'll see that now it'll input the username, the password, and it's doing this automatically. I'm not touching a single thing. This is literally a robot that is doing this for me. And I think this is the most exciting part, is seeing the software working for you, and you not having to do anything. And what it's doing right now is it's pulling the old articles so that it silo structures it correctly. So now that it pulled the old article, now it's posting the actual article so that it can actually silo it correctly. So as you can see, the content was automatically pasted into the body of the blog post, and it is publishing it, and it's just finished. So the completed message should be showing up here any second. All right, so what it did there, it went back to the other site again, and it's going to add the silo information. And as you can see here, it says editing previous post with silo. So not only does it silo structure the post that you just published, but it goes back and it edits the previous article and silos that one to the new article as well. And that's what that was doing there. So let me go ahead and preview the article now, just so you guys can see how it works. All right, so here's the article that we just published. Here's all of the optimization that we did, the bold, the H1, the video. Here's the inner link, the other inner link. Here it is. And the reason that the image doesn't show up again is because I inputted the incorrect FTP information on purpose, just because I knew I was going to be showing that tab. But once you input your correct FTP information, the software will automatically upload this to your server, and it'll show up properly. And let me show you the silo structure. My mouse is acting up. There we go. So here's the silo structure that was automatically posted. So it links to the home page, to the category page, to the previous article, and then when you publish another article, it's going to come back and change this automatically and link this to the next article. So that's how the posting process works. Now let me go ahead and go back to here and show you a few other options that we built in. Obviously, you can easily save this article and fan test, and you can save it and always upload it if for some reason you need to come back to it. You can easily save it. We've also built in Copyscape, so you can check all of your articles once you're done editing them to make sure they're unique. And let me go ahead and close this out and show you a few other things that we built into here. All right, so I already touched on the spin and post. This allows you to upload articles or scrape articles from the web. If you want to just start writing out your content, like if you would inside of your dashboard, like if you just want to go in and just start writing, you can do so as well. And I'll show you how it works. It's pretty much the same screen as before, but it'll be a blank screen this time, which will allow you to just start typing out your content, and then you can optimize it as you go. So we have that option as well. And here, orders. This is another great feature of this software as well. Eventually, we're going to start offering backlink packages here inside the software. You'll be able to easily place an order for backlinks, and also down here, where if you for some reason you need some kind of article that you can't find inside the software, or you need if you want just unique content in general, you'll be able to place an order for us to write content for you. So these two are another very powerful features of the software. Here under the settings tab, you can input your spinning information. So if you have a subscription to Spin Rewriter, you can use that. If you have a subscription to the Best Spinner, you can put that here. And of course, the Copyscape, you can put that here as well. Excuse me. And that's pretty much Article Factory Pro in a nutshell.
Just want a quick clarification. Other than the free version you're offering, the Spin Rewriter and Best Spinner, you need to pay subscription servers to what? And so it's a Copyscape, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. So we have our own free spinner built in, but some people already have Spin Rewriter, or some people already have the Best Spinner, and they'd rather use those. So we have that built in as well.
Yeah.
And here, many people might be wondering what the Silo Monster tab is, and that's where the OTO comes in. And Silo Monster is the OTO. So we've made it very easy for those people that purchase it. They don't have to install another piece of software. It's all built right into the main software here. So for those people that purchase it, this will be unlocked. For those people that don't, it will be locked. And what Silo Monster is, it's something that's very, very powerful. Let me go ahead and all right, I already added this. So what Silo Monster does, a lot of people may be starting with a new website, but a lot of people already have existing websites that have 5, 10, 15, 20 different articles on them. And for someone to have to go in and silo structure that website manually, it would take a long time because you have to go in one by one to each article, edit each article, add the silo structure to each article, and doing that on a website that has 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 different articles, it would just be way too time consuming for someone to do that. Now, if you have the time and you want to spend the time to do that, you can. Or you can use Silo Monster and have that done automatically, and it literally does it in one click. And I won't have time to do it live right now, but I'll show you how it works, because depending on how big your website is, it can take anywhere from 2 minutes up to 10 minutes to complete, because what the software is going to do is going to go in, scrape all of your categories, scrape all of your articles, and create an entire silo structure, and then go in and implement that silo structure across all of your blog articles. So if you have, the more articles you have, the longer this process is going to take. But of course, the software does it automatically for you. And I'll show you the completed version of it because I ran it on one of my blogs, and it took about 3 to 4 minutes to complete. And I have, I think, 10 to 15 articles on that site. But here's the screen. Once it's completed, it'll show you here on the left-hand side all the categories on your site that is scraped. And down here, it'll show you a complete list of all the articles on that site, and it'll show you the status, whether it's done, completed, and things like that. So to start the silo structure, all you have to do is hit this button here, and that is it. The software will take care of the rest. So this is good for those people that have existing websites that have 5, 10, 15, 20 different articles on them, and you need to implement a silo structure. Silo Monster will do that for you automatically. And let me go back to my site now and show you how that looks. So let me select one of these because I already ran it on this site, and it took about 3 to 4 minutes to complete. And all I did was select the site that I wanted to implement on, and hit that gray button on the top right-hand side. And here's exactly what it does. All right, so this little snippet of code, it links to the home page, it links to the category page, it links to the previous article, and it links to the next article. So Silo Monster does this for every single article on your blog automatically without you having to do a single thing. All you have to do is add the website to the software and hit this gray button here at the top right-hand side, and Silo Monster will go in, scrape all of your articles, and add this silo structure to each article on your website. So just think about how long it would take for you to do this manually if you have a site that has 5, 10, 15, 20 different articles. It will take you a very long time. But with Silo Monster, it took me, I think, 3 to 4 minutes, and I didn't even do it. The software did it for me. So that is pretty much it. That is Silo Monster in a nutshell. It's going to save you a lot of time, as well as Article Factory Pro. Both of these softwares are built to help streamline your business and help you really expand things and take things to the next level.
All right, so I think we kind of went over what is a silo structure and why should people have a silo structure. Can you talk about that a little bit as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all know that in today's SEO environment, the structure of your website is extremely important. Google nowadays is putting a lot of emphasis on user experience on your website. And people love, the more that you can keep people on your website, the better. And having a proper silo structure on your website helps that happen. People will come to your website, they'll see that it's structured correctly, and they'll click through to different articles that are on your site, and they'll spend more time on your website. Wikipedia is a monster and a king at this. If you ever go to any Wikipedia article and you see that every single page almost is like silo structured together, it's just a big network of just interlinks everywhere. That's vital to a website's authority. The more that you can guide people from one article to the next, the better it's going to be for your website. And not only that, but Google will be able to kind of crawl each page from one page to the next, and give you that extra authority for your website. And right now in today's SEO environment, the better your site structure is, the more advantage you're going to have over your competition.
Right. So I think it's a 90% to get your on-site SEO done right, and you don't need much of off-site SEO done right. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk about the offer itself. Let's talk about the name of the product, time to launch, and who's going to be really benefit for getting this.
Yeah, absolutely. So the launch is going live on Tuesday, May the 13th at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's really going to benefit those people that have multiple sites, or people that are thinking of putting up multiple sites, to really help you streamline and really help you expand your business to the next level and help you manage everything a lot easier. Like I said, with the Article Factory Pro, you can create, post, and optimize your content for all of your websites inside of one central dashboard. So it's really going to help those people that are struggling and are wasting a lot of time out there manually managing their websites one by one. And the main, like I said, it's going to go on April 13th, 11 a.m. No, not May 13th at 11 a.m. And the starting price point is going to be $19.99, and then it's going to start going up from there after 2 days.
Okay.
So there's going to be an early bird offer going for the first 48 hours, and then so they want to make sure they act quickly, because even the last time I expanded the early bird offer, and there were still people, after the 48 hours, coming, oh, I missed it, I missed it, I missed it, and there's not really much I can do because it's unfair to those people that were there on time to take advantage of the early bird offer.
All right, you heard the man, so get there early.
Yeah, set your alarm clock and set your alarm clock. In 48 hours, I found if you can't get there within 48 hours, I mean, there's not really much I can do.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about what is inside the front end, and what is a starting price for that, and is it on dime sale, and how many days are you going to keep this open?
Yeah. Okay. So the front end offer is for Article Factory Pro. They're going to be able to add an unlimited amount of websites into the software. There's no limit on that, and they're also going to get 3 install license of that. The starting price is going to be $19.99. After the first 2 days, the price will start to go up. So they want to make sure that they grab it within the first 48 hours, because after that, the dime sale is going to kick in. And from experience, during the first 2 days, it's going to cause the price to really jump up quickly once the dime sale kicks in, just because it counts all of the sales that happened within the first 48 hours, and then it automatically adds that into the price increase. So they want to make sure that they're there on time. And the upsell offer is, which I mentioned, Silo Monster, which will be for $47 one-time fee, and they'll be able to, again, silo structure as many sites as they want, and they'll be able to do that, with as much as they want to as many sites as they want.
Right. So, okay. All right. What about do you have any OTOs?
Yeah, that's the OTO, the Silo Monster.
Okay, the Silo. Okay. Is that all the OTO I have?
Yeah, just one. Just Article Factory and Silo Monster. Straightforward. One front end offer, one OTO.
Okay, cool. Just want to check. And I think that's about all the questions I need to ask you here today. And got one last question though. As people are watching this, they know how this software really going to save a lot of time, especially having multiple sites, especially that automatic silo feature, monster silo feature you have, because if you already have a huge site already, it's going to take forever to actually manually do all that. So this is really going to save a lot of time to get the site set up correctly, so you can get ranked, get that money in. And they won't get this, but we all have that negative voice in our head that says don't get it and don't taking action, and whatever the reason it is. So my question to you, Joshua, is what makes this software so unique, so they should absolutely grabbing at this at launching time?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think this is really the complete solution for someone that really wants to take their business to the next level. There's not many softwares out there that allow you to do that allow you to really manage all of your content and all of your websites inside of one central place. I think that's very powerful for anyone who wants to scale their business and really scale their niche site portfolio and make all of that process a lot easier, because the last thing you want to do is have an Excel sheet of all your different websites with all the different logins. And I know that anyone who's tried building a niche site portfolio has that. I know I had that when I started out. I had a big Excel sheet with all of my sites, all of the logins, all of the keywords, and it gets to be very overwhelming. So when you have a software like this that allows you to streamline that process into one central place, it makes things a lot easier. It saves you a ton of time, and it gets you to that point of profit a lot faster. So I think that's really what's going to help those people and why they should really pick it up.
Yeah, and if you're really serious about SEO, you really want to get your site ranked, a tool like this is really going to save you a lot of time and a lot of money, because it just make your life simpler, and why not, right? So anyway, Joshua, I think that's all the questions I need to get from you, and thank you so much for spending time with us. But before we leave here today, do you have maybe final words of wisdom you'd like to share?
Yeah, absolutely. The way that I like to end, every single time is, no matter what you're doing, always take action. That's where you're really gonna step into the successful mindset, is when you're always taking action and always moving forward. No matter what you're doing, don't ever forget that, and always be taking action.
And let's talk about bonus.
Yeah. So quickly, we've put together a nice bonus for your subscribers. Not only they're going to be getting some additional traffic training, so they're going to be getting a full course along with a case study on how they can quickly get targeted traffic to the website. So this is on top of SEO. So not only will they be getting SEO traffic, they'll be learning how to drive other forms of traffic to their website. They're also going to get a brand new video marketing case study that will show them how I ranked a video within 48 hours and made $302 in instant commissions. So that's going to help them to drive even more traffic to their sites. And the last thing is they're going to be getting 2 high converting Rolodexes. So one of the biggest things that I've seen people struggle with is picking the right products to promote. So what I did is I created 2 Rolodexes, each containing 10 high converting ClickBank products that they can choose from to build websites around. So all of these are very relevant bonuses that are going to help them to drive traffic and get to that profit faster.
Okay. All right, so thank you so much, Joshua, again. For those who are watching this, make sure you stay tuned, watch a very quick demo video on this, and look out for my emails tomorrow so you can get that bonus and the early bird notification, whatever that is, and the 48-hour early bird. Yeah, someone meant to say, and looking out for my exclusive review and additional bonus on that as well. And Joshua, thank you so much for spending your time to share all these awesome tips with us, and I'm looking forward to learn from you more in the future as well.
Sounds good, Han. Have a good one.
All right, thank you, Joshua. Cheers.